Akira Toriyama has passed away at 68. He had a really profound. His work had a when I needed to find strength within myself, and I would look to these characters he created. Really found a lot of myself in them. I guess first time I saw Dragon Ball was like I was 5. Something like that. And, whether it be the morality that Goku had, or the perseverance and dedication that Vegeta has, or the purity of many of the characters in general. Yeah, I wish him and his family the best. I wish him the best in the next life. I hope I get to meet him one day. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Akira. And may Dragon Ball live on forever.
I remember when we moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, there are these brothers named Chris, Mike, and Steve. Now, most people today would call those kids nerds, geeks, whatever. And the way that they welcomed us to the neighborhood, us being black and them being white never was a thing. First thing and the biggest thing that we bonded over was Dragon Ball Z. Damn. When we would talk about Dragon Ball Z, when we watch Dragon Ball Z, nothing else really mattered. We would play in our neighborhood, like we were different Dragon Ball Z characters. We make up our own games that were basically Dragon Ball Z, and we would play them. And since then, Dragon Ball Z had a huge part in my life. And I always hate people who turn on cameras. I wasn't even thinking that this was gonna affect me like this. I hate people who turn on cameras and start crying. It's the weirdest thing, right? It's weirder to me if you already cry, you turn on the camera. I didn't think this was gonna happen. This is no edits and everything. I'm sorry. I apologize. Akira Toriyama passed away today, or last night. And some people think that, I'm beyond a Dragon Ball Z head. I know everything about Dragon Ball Z. I used to go visit planetnamek.com. I used to read up on Dragon Ball Z. I used to read the manga. I used to do all of that, right? Dragon Ball, every Dragon Ball Z game that there's ever been, I've essentially played. Even some of the Japan releases. Anime is huge right now. Anime is way more accepted than it's ever been. It's almost not cool to not have an anime that you know about. I remember when I couldn't talk about anime around certain friends. Some people might look at me as more like a normie or whatever. And, I've always been like a hip hop person. I've always had my my feet in both things, right? I've always considered myself like a black nerd. I've always been able to be around the cool, popular kids. I've also been able to be around the Yu-Gi-Oh table, the Dungeons and Dragons table, the Dragon Ball Z table. It's funny too because Dragon Ball Z seemed to be the only anime early that everybody watched. It didn't matter if you were a cool kid or not, everybody did, right? I cannot believe this. It took me a while to shoot this, honestly. As you can see, I'm having a real difficult time with this. I didn't think this was gonna hit me like this, but with Dragon Ball Z, how many times have you heard someone say, man, I'm about to go super, he went Super Saiyan, you know? For everybody who's ever put their hand up and asked everybody to give him their energy. For anybody who ever put their hands like this and said, say it with me. God, man. Man. I can't even do it. For all y'all, man, thank you, Akira. Thank you for everything. I can't do this.